the catalytic process by means of which we inhale oxygen and our food products, especially glucose, is burnt in the presence of oxygen compound and we exhale carbon dioxide is called respiration. So today in this video we will talk about the process respiration, the light process respiration. In abridgment, we all will be acquainted with two types of respiration, which is aerobic and next point is anaerobic, and there will be structural and functional features of respiratory system, and the human body respiratory system and the respiratory function works in our body with the help of inhalation, transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide from alveoli to cellular region and from cellular region to alveoli, and the last point is the exhalation system of our body. So let's make a start with aerobic respiration and the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So first we will tell the aerobic respiration is what? Actually in our body the presence of oxygen, not oxygen compound, okay, the presence of oxygen, the food products, especially the glucose, is burnt and it forms carbon dioxide, water, and it releases a huge amount of energy, which is 686 kilocalorie, is aerobic respiration, and this process forms in the two steps, okay. The first step is glycolysis and the next step is Krebs cycle. The glycolysis process occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell, and in this process actually the glucose is converted into the pyruvic acid by different stages and with the different enzymes, okay. The next stage is Krebs cycle, which is also called tricarboxylic acid cycle, TCA cycle, and in this process it's a cyclic process, okay. Cyclic process occurs in the internal stroma, internal matrix of mitochondria. You know what, this mitochondria is cellular organelle in the cell, and this has two membrane, outer and inner membrane, and inside the inner internal compartment there is matrix, and in this matrix this Krebs cycle occurs, okay. In this process the pyruvic acid is activated in the form of acetyl-CoA, and the first compound formed in this cycle, which is tricarboxylic acid and citric acid, okay. So this is named as citric acid cycle or tricarboxylic acid cycle because there is tricarboxylic group, and this is named by the scientist Krebs. So this is Krebs cycle. So this is the main glycolysis and Krebs cycle. The basic process is found in the cellular region, okay. In compared to this aerobic respiration, the next point is anaerobic respiration. In this process there is no presence of oxygen, there is oxygenous compound, and this process actually the glucose is burnt by this compound. It forms carbon dioxide, water, but it releases less amount of energy, like 20, 35 or 25 kilocalorie as such, and it is less amount of energy and is found in the yeast, bacteria, okay. So there is two types of anaerobic respiration, alcoholic fermentation, and the next point is lactic acid fermentation. So fermentation process is what? Actually it forms ethyl alcohol or it forms lactic acid. So this is alcoholic fermentation and this is lactic acid fermentation. Especially in yeast, alcoholic fermentation is found, and our muscle cells are lactic acid, lactobacillus bacteria, okay. Lactobacillus bacteria, and for the production of curd, we find this lactic acid fermentation, and this is all about the anaerobic respiration, okay. So these are the main difference between this aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So our next point is a very special, the structural and functional features of our respiratory system, and this is done by three steps: inhalation of oxygen, transportation of oxygen to the cell and carbon dioxide to the alveoli, and the last point is exhalation of carbon dioxide. The first, we inhale oxygen, and how this process occurs. Actually, in our environment, the pressure of the oxygen is high, and in our body it is low. How? Because there is contraction of intercostal muscle and the diaphragm muscle. It leads to the decrease in the pressure in the lungs. Actually, it increases the space in the lungs, and this is the diagram. Okay, so this is the contraction of the muscles, and it increases the space inside the lungs and decreases the internal area, and pressure when falls down, and by this process oxygen comes into the lungs, and after this from alveoli oxygen is transported to the cellular region by the help of hemoglobin. It forms oxyhemoglobin. Okay, and in the cellular region these two steps we told before, that is glycolysis and Krebs cycle occurs, and after this process by the help of this aerobic respiration, carbon dioxide and water and huge amount of energy is formed, and this carbon dioxide is transported from the cellular region to the alveoli, and this process occurs by the formation of carbaminohemoglobin. Hemoglobin is used here to form to be allied with this carbon dioxide, and it forms carbaminohemoglobin. So oxyhemoglobin and carbaminohemoglobin are very much special compound, okay, by this for this process transportation. The last point is exhalation, and by this process this emission of carbon dioxide occurs by the relaxation of these muscles, and this intercostal muscle and diaphragm muscle are relaxed, and by this process, by this relaxation of muscles, actually it decreases the internal space of the lungs, and as well as the increase the go up of the the pressure inside the lungs. By this increase of the pressure, actually we can exhale carbon dioxide. And this is the main structure and functional features of our respiratory system. So the aforesaid discussion teaches us about this aerobic and anaerobic respiration, the main steps, which is inhalation oxygen, glycolysis, Krebs cycle by this transportation process, and exhalation. So hope you like this video. Like, comment and share. Subscribe the YouTube channel Knowledge Flame. Happy learning. Thank you.